just like me. Intoxicated with the madness, I'm in love with my sadness. Bullshit fakers, enchanted kingdoms, look like the victim to their jungle day. I never let out that I was on a sinking ship. I never let out that I was down. You blame yourself for what you can't ignore. You blame yourself for wanting more. She's the one for me. She's all I really need. Oh yeah, she's the one for me. She's the one and
Oh my god. What is it?
the bog of eternal stains.
Yo, everybody, what's shaking? How are you, everyone? I hope you're well. I am doing well. Having a good day, a great day, actually. Today was a day at like a kind of a half-ish day of training kind of thing at work, which was like, whatever. Compared to what I normally do at work, it was like, man, yeah. You guys all know what an easy day at work for you guys feels like. I don't have to relate it necessarily to my own dang self. We've all had those days, though, at jobs where you get the easy day and you're like, It's one of those, especially when it happens on a Friday, too. It almost kind of sort of feels like a long weekend-ish, like a long weekend sort of vibe where you didn't have to do much. Stay up a little bit later. Nils Rollback, how are you? 3 people in the chat. I feel like it's going to be slow today, but we'll see what happens. I know nothing about this plugin. I know nothing about this signature artist. I have never heard one single solitary note that this human being has ever played. Not one. But the reason I mention that is because I'm going into this very objectively. It's like, this is what I always tell you guys. Just because you don't like the signature artist's music, it's also very cold in here. Just because you don't like their music doesn't mean you might not like their plugin. That's the way it is. That's what it is. So I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend. I'm going to hang out with you guys today and check out the Manuel, Gardner, Fernandes Mixwave, the suite. They just call it Mixwave Artist. They don't have a signature name for it. No fun name. No archetypes. No tonality. No tone suite. Just straight up Mixwave Artist. I like it. And so today we're going to test this bad boy out along with maybe getting into the Mike Stringer plugin. I've been told I should give it another shot, and I will. But we'll see what's going on. I want to see what's going on with this guy here first. And this thing, the one thing I noticed, I'm going to tell you, I noticed right out of the blocks, is that when you engage the plugin, you open a new instance of the plugin. It's a bug for sure. It brings you to the cabinet section first. I've never ever in my entire career seen a plugin do that on purpose. So if it was on purpose, my bad. If it was not on purpose, you should fix it, because it should always go to the amps first, or whichever, like the feature amp that you're using in your default tone. But I mean, the cabinet, maybe someone was trying to be a bit different. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to go left to right. First up, we have the pitch shift. Also, the color. It's weird. Is it gold? Is it bronze? Is it gold? Is it copper? Is it bronze? I'm going to... What do you guys think? Is this bronze? What is this? Is it like... It's like a champagne color? Almost? I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's weird. On the eyes... This UI looks nice. I used to do that. I would love to start breaking, and that's what I'm going to be doing when I start doing these pre-recorded things eventually, is they'll be broken down like my reviews used to be at Honest Amp Sim Reviews. Just like that, I'm going to write the script the same way. They will be scripted to a point, but filmed in a live, non-edited kind of sense. Just what you're seeing right now. So that's fun, and hopefully people dig them. Anyways, we should start by just mentioning that I do like the way this looks. I don't know if I like the color or not. It's one of those colors. It's like, do I hate it? Yeah, I hate. No, I don't. No, I like. No, wait a second. It's bugging me. It's really, it's growing on me now. You know, you're going back and forth on it for me. I'm going to make the window all just the amp sim here so you guys can just get it. And again, here's this beautiful amp sim. This, again, so if I'm comparing this to the Mike Stringer plugin as far as UIs go, my personal opinion is that Mixwave really needs to redo the UI for the Mike Stringer plugin. It looks like when you put it up, these two up against each other, look. You guys can just do your, like, look at these. Here's the Mike Stringer plugin. Okay. Like the pedal looks good. The pedals look fine. The amp, however, looks, I don't know. It's kind of a little bit bizarre looking. Something about it sets it apart. It makes it look like maybe lower fi, if I can. Lower definition. Something about it. I don't know what it is, but you look at this one, it's like crisp. So crisp. I like it. I don't know what it is, but anyways, this is a nice looking UI. Thomas, how are you? Ton Guitar. Nice to see you as well. And if you're in here, guys, hammer at me. Tell me hello. I am tuned in C# today. I also forgot that I was doing that. I changed this guitar up a little bit. I may be changing it up again. I've been talking to Aurora Tone about their new dual rail. By the way, you should check out the Aurora Tone Pickups dual rail. He's got it out now. I'm not sure if it's in prototypes, if he's prototyping it, or what he's doing exactly, but we talked about this lots in the past. We really did. And I'm glad to see that, like, he's doing it now. So I really want to check that out. Now, first thing I notice about this amp, if you guys are to look at this amp, and what do you notice? What is a red flag that comes immediately to mind in the default tone here? For me, something that comes to mind when I look at this default tone, I see a dimed treble knob. And I see a bass knob that's at 0. I'm very confused as to what the default tone's going to sound like. I don't like... I always suggest people, whether it's a real amp or if it's a really good plugin, never use any... You're almost never going to turn a setting other than maybe gain or like your channel volume but like nothing in the EQ. No setting should ever be dimed, really. Like, especially not your treble, your mids, or your bass. It's not the 80s, folks. We're not trying for, and it's not a solid state amp. I don't know, is it? I have no idea what this is based on. So that's just something I notice off the bat that is slightly alarming. Let's get into it, shall we? All right, that was weird. I gotta adjust a bunch of things here. Okay, I'm not, hold on. All right. What do we have happening on the drive pedal here? Right now, that's got some pretty pedestrian settings. I'm feeling like I should have done a run through on this prior to the stream. But nonetheless, I feel like we're going to be all right. So What channel are we on? We have a half power switch. We have channels. Where's the channel switch? Channels. All right, let's go to the other channel here. Let's start cleaner. I like the twang right away. So I'm noticing they say it's based on, I think that they were maybe suggesting hot rodded Marshalls. So I'm not exactly sure. Like if you go into there, it's a lot of word salad, vague word salad, as it's typically going to be with a plugin like this, or like the archetype plugins are often like a lot of vague salady words where it's just like a certain British amp with high gain qualities. But in this situation, we're looking at an artist that I can't really find a lot of evidence of him playing a ton live. Does he play a lot live? And if he does play live, is he using a modeler? That's the one thing I'd like to know. He's got a ton of followers on Instagram. I noticed that 310,000 followers to be exact. So this guy is not small potatoes by any means. And I'm not trying to demean him by any means by saying I don't know who he is. There are probably 9 billion guitar players on social media that I have no idea who they are. And they're probably all amazing, but I just have no idea who they are because I don't keep my finger to that pulse as much as you might think. Now I'm somewhere I like. So far, so good. Okay, I took it off that lead channel, and let's turn the EQ back on. I love it. So okay, so now we're better. Whatever it was, I fixed it. We'll start. It just was really interesting to me to see lead bright, treble shift bright. Everything was on, and the treble knob was dimed. What are we doing here? That's an insane default setting. If I'm the artist in that scenario and I'm noticing that I have to dime something all the way right to 10, I'm going to be asking the developer, hey, I'm noticing that I'm running the treble really hard here. Can you guys give me a little bit more headroom in the treble area? That would be one thing I'd be asking for sure, especially because you're noticing I've got the bright and the lead bright and the treble shifter everything's on. So if I'm noticing, I'm going to say, hey guys, can we make for maybe some more top end headroom so I don't have to engage all of these, like I'm not hitting all the switches, to the auxiliary switches to get that brightness that I need. That's just, again, we're going through, I'm nitpicking. I'm going to do a deep dive. This is what we do here. This is not criticizing. This is a constructive criticism. I'm not going to stand up here and say, this fucking sucks. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to type it online either. I'm going to give this a fair shake. I don't know much about the artist, as mentioned. So let's really give this a good dive. This is my Mindsinger Guitars Tempest. And in the pickups, I've got the Aurora Tone Singularity and the Ultraviolet. I may be upgrading this one to the rails, but I have yet to talk to him on that one. So I did just make a pickup. I made a pickup purchase today. I've not made a pickup purchase in many moons, but I finally found someone local here that wanted to buy a bunch of my pickups. And I have a guitar right now that's really in some dire need of pickups. So the Destroyer that I recently tried putting the Fishman Matt Heafy set in is going to get a Nazgul and a Sentient, which is awesome set. I'm excited. I think that they're voiced perfectly for that guitar. It's a lot of low end in that guitar, and every set I've tried in it has kind of gone so. So I'm going to try something different in that guitar. I cannot wait to get those in and install and everything else. The gray ones, so they'll match the guitar perfectly. I'm not going to go with like a bright set like I always do. I'm going to blend it into that gray burst that it's got and really kind of just let it look beautiful and dark and hopefully super heavy. The objective is to get like that Amon Amarth type guitar where I can drop it down and still have it sound really ripping. Okay, so I'm really liking that for sure. This reminds me of Gorod. If you've ever heard that band, we love to listen to them here. And when this song, every time I listen to this song on stream, we listen to the same part. and I fucking love the same part. You know the part we're going to go for, but this tone reminds me of a band like this or Spawn of Possession or Obscura that don't really use a whole shit ton of gain. They actually don't use a lot of gain. It's just perfectly crafted, two perfectly crafted tones that have just enough gain while being very, very clean, and the response is very clean as well. So this is starting out pretty nice. Let's try out this. So this is kind of what I'm looking at here. That treble top end, bright. And you know the riff we're going for, guys. Here we go, guys. This is Gorod, by the way. I believe they're French. Here it comes, guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. So psychroptic here. Anyways, that's the tone that reminded me of right off the hop. And we're going to listen to some more of that band, because this band just straight up rips. I'm going to listen to this album specifically. We're going to listen to this song from scratch, actually, in the background here. Kind of excited about that. If you have never heard of Gorod, whatever they're called, check them out. Okay, so this is a lot more where I want to be and what I'm trying to live my life as a guitar player. I'm going to bring the bass up a little bit. Now, if you notice that you have so much headroom in the low end that you don't have to turn the bass, and we're back to this thing where I think if I'm the artist, I'm just talking, you guys know how we roll here. And if you're watching this and you've never been to our channel before, this is kind of what we do. I like to relate what actually happens in this industry. And a lot of people don't really know how signature plugins come out. They don't know how they come around, or how do they just materialize? How do these things transpire? And I can give you guys a good look, not necessarily into the specific ways that, Mixwave operates, but just a kind of general way of how things work. And I've worked a lot of these projects. As you guys may or may not know, I've been a project manager, I've been a product designer on many different products that I've got. I've sold ideas to companies, etc., etc., etc. I've also worked with a lot of signature artists, and I'm currently working with 5 different, I don't know what the hell happened there, but 5 different signature artists I'm working with right now on plugins. Maybe even more. That was off the top of my head. Anyways, point is, if I'm the artist here, or if I'm working with the artist and I'm noticing like that they're sending me a preset that has the bass is all the way down and then the trebles all the way up, I'm going to talk to that artist and say, are you happy with like the headroom we've given you inside the controls? Like, are you happy with this, or can we maybe do something a bit different? And just through beta testing and everything else, that's just something, these are things I wonder about. I really do. So I'm not picking on it as much as I'm just trying to understand the process and thinking maybe that something there maybe could have been, I mean, let's hear how much headroom we have in the low end. That's insane. That's an insane amount of low end. Nobody needs that. Even if I put it on 6, let's see where we're at. It seems like it doesn't do a whole lot of desirable things after around the 2 or 3 mark, but you guys be the judge. Sounds pretty good. You know, another band this sounds like a lot to my ears, and you guys may or may not agree here, but this is a Canadian band that I think is also pretty big around the world. They're called Billy Talent, and there's a song specifically called Cut the Curtains that this tone, check this out. So you guys get, that's the kind of tone that we're after there. I'm going to go back to Gorod, don't worry, but I was pretty excited about that. But I think that's another kind of area that I think that this would be super successful in. I can turn it up now that I've got this under control. I'm not playing it correctly, I know. This sounds friggin-tastic now. This sounds really cool. I can't do it, guys. I'm not that skilled. Really crunchy. I think you'd probably almost be thrashy with this. Love that edge. Let's see what the distortion does here. There really just needs to be a bit more top end available. That's what my main complaint already that I'm hearing. There needs to be more. There has to be a bit more available here somewhere. And I've been hearing this riff for the third time now. And I'm not stoked about it. Let's see what we got in the house today. I've noticed a brain dead. Bo, what's going on? Rudy Castillo in the house. Mark, what's going on? Ton Guitarra, we already said hello. Baritone Goat, you actually came up in conversation earlier today. And Brain Dead, man, how are you guys? Tyler, did you know if NAM V2 will be here this year? Yes. As my hope is that NAM V2 will come out Q4, end of Q4. Yes. That's my hope. I don't know what's going to happen. Right now, Mixwave has a, Mixwave, whoops. Sorry, right now, WaveMind, I'm going to turn this music down a tiny bit because I'm shouting. Okay, WaveMind has a major release coming, biggest release they've ever had is coming in next month. The biggest and craziest release, and something that we've spoken about, this secret plugin. It's finally going to happen. Yes! I can't wait. I know you guys are stoked too. I know you guys are deep down. You are stoked. I'm also very excited. So that's coming out in December. The plan is, now that plugin is basically finished and just waiting to be released, the plan is that I actually sent out a message just before I jumped on stream about, hey, we have lots of ideas of what we want to do with V2. And we are going to, basically the idea here is to make it the best NAM player by such a wide margin that no one even bothers to try to beat it. That is my hope. I mean, does it sound cocky? Absolutely. But so many people love NAM Universal as it is. NAM Universal V2, we're going to get insanely crazy with it. And it's still going to be free, but it's going to be free. We're discussing right now. We're going to be, actually, there will be paid add-ons later. We're going to see, basically, I'm going to talk to you guys more about it later, but yes, we're hoping for this year. I'm hoping for December, but it could be January. It's hovering in that space somewhere. Making an amp sim of a synergy module is a ball move the greatest magnitude. Hold on. Where did I miss? Did I miss something here? Those controls are straight up a Mark C, but set up like the synergy module. Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you for giving me that. Hold on. That's awesome. Thanks, Baritone. What amp sim is this? This is the Manuel Gardner Fernandes. Hold on. Manuel Gardner Fernandes. Whenever I say that name, for whatever reason, I feel like I have to say it with it. I have to say it with it like a good accent. I can't do it. Manuel is a very favorite name of mine, as there is. We have call him a lurking member of our team at this point. Once a very busy member of our team, but these days more of a lurking member of our team. Manuel, the Italian stallion, a very dear friend, and we miss him so. But he is a busy man, and he's actually he's doing a lot in the death metal world these days. His bands are getting pretty well known, off the top of my head. If I can think of some. How's it going, everybody? Making it, man, could it be? Can somebody go and do some detective work right now and go and look on Manuel's page and find out if he uses the mark. But the thing is, I thought it said Brit voiced. Damn it. Let's just bring up the product page again. Mixwave. All right. Manuel Gardner Fernandes. I want to say Manuel Fernandes, but then you have to say Gardner in there, and it kind of throws you for a loop. Because you're like, wait a minute. How do I say Gardner in a Spanish accent? Fuck. Wait, am I allowed to tell you? Are you even allowed to do accents anymore? Man, I love doing accents. It's such a bummer. Never making fun of anyone either. It's a beautiful accent. The only time, it's one of the reasons I love doing accents is because I mostly love doing accents that just sound way cooler than my own. I've got a Canadian accent. Nobody wants to hear a Canadian accent. Fucking nobody. But the same amount of people. No, I'm not gonna say it. Tom Segura got in trouble one time for saying something about a certain accent. I'm not gonna do it. Anyways. All right. Can somebody go look on his page to see if he uses the Mark amp, the Mark Synergy? Built around Manuel's signature tone, this amp delivers tight, articulate. Oh, you guys want me to do my announcer's voice? All right. Built around Manuel's signature tone, this amp delivers tight, articulate gain with a smooth upper mid-range and immense clarity. Rooted in the lineage of iconic American amplifiers to refine to his exact taste, it strikes the perfect balance between aggression and precision. Designed for fluid leads, intricate rhythms, and dynamic expression, it responds effortlessly to every nuance. It stays clean when you back off, turns ferocious when you dig in, creating a modern voice shaped for definition, power, and feel. Nice. That's not word salad. That's wonderfully written. That's well written. That's not AI written at all. That sounds wonderful. Great. That's a great product explanation. Thank you very much. Description. All right, let's see what we got here. Is that my reverb or hit there? No, that's my reverb. That's sounding rather large. Why is it slapping back? What am I not noticing here? Let's go to the chain. Did something change on me? No, 6.6%. No, that's supposed to be at 6%. Whatever. No, it's still in Studio Alpha. Studio, we can go to Studio Beta. I sometimes like the Viper Room. It's a bit too big. Yeah, we'll stick with Studio Alpha. I like to use a room verb mostly for me, but maybe a tiny bit for you guys. I just loathe dry guitar. Unless there's a mix behind it. But just dry guitar on its own in headphones. I think it was partially Rudy that got me to made me really want to buy a Nazgul. Because the last Nazgul I bought, I got to enjoy for like 4.5 seconds before I traded the guitar for a really good trade. I was just like, yeah, take it, fucking woo. Took this other guitar back. Anyways. Rudy, we talked about this in the email. We talked about this in the email, brother. I've got some captures for you. I've got potentially a future product for you. Got the diamond sound for you. You just have to make a decision, brother. Be prepared for guys. Be prepared, guys, for this one from Wave Mind. It blows your minds. Yeah, absolutely it does. And it's too bad Eddie's not here right now because Eddie would be losing his marbles. Wanting to like... At this point, all of us are like, you know that meme where the guy's like... He can't, you know, the guy's like struggling. He's making his face all red at a school desk. That guy... That's kind of like the entire team here right now, plus probably the artist himself. The artist himself is literally just like, probably just like bouncing to get this out because this one has been in development for a day or two. It has been a lengthy process from an artist that was very specific, and I think everything came out very, very nicely. I agree though. I'm agreeing with myself. Wait, what did that do that for? I see. I just think there needs to be a bit more top end. Like right now, if I turn the bright off, how dry am I? And turn the bright on. That's still pretty good. And I've got the EQ here too, so I really can get a bit. I mean, there's a good amount at the top end. I just think if you're having to max out any setting, you probably should figure something like there should be a little more headroom added. But again, that's the last we're going to speak with. Anyways, pitch shift is where we're at. Let's check out the pitch shift. That's cool. I don't want to clip anything. I don't want to just fuck with my... Oh, it's doing it either way. Something be crackling. Don't know what it is. Let's go down. Okay. Is it an effect I use a lot? No, probably not. I don't use a lot of pitch shifters, but a lot of people, man, it is the cat's pajamas these days. Everybody wants a pitch shifter in every plugin right now. So let's check out the chorus. You guys know well, you guys are well aware that I love using chorus. And so I'm going to drive the chorus though. I'm not going to put it, I'm going to put it out. You know, you can really put it wherever you want. I love that about this plugin, by the way, and about Mixwave plugins is you can reorder the signal chain in any way you want. Like I can literally take the reverb and put it in the front. I can do whatever I want. You can take anything and you can take all these and put them in any order that you like. I would suggest that you be reasonable and at least kind of try to look at how signal chains run. But either way, let's check out the chorus. Solid. I like the chorus. I think the chorus probably would be better without the overdrive pedal on. Now let's check this out. Yeah, that's just really... As soon as you turn the overdrive pedal on, it just erases. It erases a lot of the top end. Like, this is snappy. Yeah, that's it. Come out. CTS pot with a Nazgul pickup. With a with a pure tone jack. I'm not going to have any of that. I'm just going to have, well, no, I've got good pots in there. Seems like another sim for the Instagram cliche guitarist. Compressed coil split, slightly driven tones. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. I really think sometimes, I mean, I mean, I can look at it both ways. I'm trying to kind of think on the fly with how I really feel about it, you know? Like I think that there are a lot of guitar players after this kind of tone right now, that twangy, driven kind of tone, and I'm not mad at it right now because I think it sounds like this sounds pretty terrific. Snappy. It is sounding really messy now that you've put that in my head. Just like sounds like a fat marshally orange type of thing to me. That's fair. One could just say that one though, like if one could suggest though, Rudy, that you just described a Mesa Mark II C Plus or a Marshall or a Mesa Mark Series amp in general. You could have one could suggest that that's, I mean, even though the amps you mentioned are mostly EL34s, this is definitely 6L6s. At least it sounds that way, but I could be wrong. Now let's venture up to that other channel. I'm going to bring the drive way back and now see if it can't get something that we like with this one. Now that we're sort of in the know, let's also go left to right. The pitch shifter, the chorus we've dabbled in. The OD, which to me with drive, balance, and tone kind of makes it seem like it's based on a Maxon, but it doesn't sound like a Maxon. I'm not sure. The amp itself, we've established kind of sort of might be based off of Mesa Mark series of some sort. Now the cab section, we're going to talk about this. This cab section, the cab sections for Mixwave are insane. The amount of impulse responses that they shoot for their matrix, and if you're again, we explain the matrix, from time to time. If you can imagine this box here, this granola bar box, divided up into a bunch of cubes, and each one of those cubes represents an IR, and it represents and this would be a speaker, right? And then your IRs represent the different. It's like a grid essentially. And so as you move the mic around in 3D, it just rolls over different IRs seamlessly to where it eventually just chooses. You choose one wherever you pin the tail on the donkey. So that's how those work. So they shoot a lot of IRs. If you notice that there's a ton of distance for starters. Like lots of distance that you have available. You have axis, you have angle, you have those available. And then here comes the crazy part. The selection of mics is pure madness. You can tell that a producer runs this company because, good Lord, look at the amount of mics that they provide for you in every one of their guitar suites. It's insane. 57, 7B, 409, 421, 441, R20, 47, 251, and I can just keep going down the list. Go back to my ugly face for a bit. I'm really curious. You're very welcome, Braindead. CTS pot, and if you coil tap, it'll be. And if I coil tap it, I'll be surprised. I won't coil tap it though. There's no way there's no need to do that. I have no need to coil tap a Nazgul. That'd be like putting That'd be like putting training wheels on a Kawasaki Ninja. Or like force training wheels that, you know, or like a speed governor on a supercar. I don't want to do that. I know, we joke. Crunchberry's amp doesn't have a ton of gain, I mean. Which Crunchberry's amp? The one from Audio Assault? Assuming it was done using the Synergy 5050 PA, then it probably is. Okay, that's the heart's in the way of that. I can't read it. Nine people in the house say hello. We are currently going through the Manuel Gardner Fernandes plugin that just came out just recently. Just, I think it was today or yesterday or maybe it was within the last couple days. It came out from Mixwave, and congratulations to the signature artist, and congratulations to Mixwave. That's pretty sweet. The Mesa Mark II, what the Mark 4 and 5 based off? Huh? Wow, that riff. Wow, riffage in the background just got my attention. Sorry. Just the 84 Crunchberries Metallica amp. The only thing that changes is it's a modern, but the orange 84 amp doesn't have a ton of gain. Gotcha. I'm reading the comments in completely wrong order here. It's literally a 100% copy of the faceplate for the Synergy 2CP module. You're right, but does he use it? Ronnie Webster, what's going on, brother? Does he use it, though? Can we find any evidence of Manuel Gardner Fernandes using the Synergy module? All right, so now I'm feeling way better about the gainier channel. Okay, let's bring the gain up a tiny bit more. Okay, now see that whatever that first, I'm sorry, but the default tone they had going was, I don't even know what. The default tone was just bananas. I've never seen a default tone in my entire career of 15 plus years in this industry. And as a, you know, just whether working in it or anything else, working in it just as a fan, whatever. I've never seen a default preset have the treble dimed, all treble controls dimed or on, all the additional present treble controls on, and the bass at 0. I've never seen that before. But we took some time, we figured it out, and now I can feel like we're just feeling it. Not only does it have a shitload of low-end headroom, by the way, it also has a deep switch. Like, how much low-end could anyone ever want? Well, it's all in here. And a bass shift. Oh my God. Let's turn up all the low end and see what happens. It's gonna be bad. I shouldn't do this. No, you know, I'm not gonna do it. The deep and the bass shift together are a no-no. Let's see just the deep. Okay. What do you guys like better? Do you guys like which one do you guys like better? The bass shift or the deep? I like the bass shift better. Much better. Try the bass shift. And bring up the low end, the top end just a pinch. Let's see without the lead bright. Way better with the bright on. And neck is itching. I don't know why. So much rumble from your plugin. It causes literally there's so much low end here that is just very, I would say kind of unnecessary. But nonetheless, let's go to this cab here and let's simplify the cab a bit. I can't remember how to turn these on and off. Ah, there we go. Let's turn off 4 and let's turn off 3. And let's just go with a double mic setup. Let's go with a 57. What the fuck? Good Lord. See, did you hear that lick? Whatever, dude. Holy crap. Amazing. Gorod is an amazing band. All right, so we've also got, in addition to all these mics, they've also given you all these different controls like focus, clean focus, heavy contour, deep, and deep. I was about to say depth. Man, that's cool. That's very, very cool. They also give you the different. They also give you the phasing options. Man, I'm very impressed. Let's go with 57 and a 441. I love just having all these lovely options. Wonderful. I can make my own low. I can make my own top end if I really so inclined here. So let's no distance. Oh, that's mic 2. No distance there. Let's take some distance here. Let's bring this up. That sounds pretty cool for now. Let's just check it. I could use some more top end. I'm going to tell you straight up. It needs more top end. I've got the 57 right up in the grill here. All right, never mind. My bad. We managed to create some nice low end there. Never mind. Okay. See, as soon as I get up to that upper, the lead channel, it starts to fuzz out a little bit for me. Starts to fuzz out a little bit for me. Obviously, he likes this. I love that. He loves the scoops as well. I need less low end. Turn off the bass shift. The top end, when you start to get up in the top end, it does start to fizz out a little bit. What's this feature? Transpose. There's no need for the transpose. Do we want to try it? Let's try it. Okay. Oops. I can't remember that song. Either way. The transpose feature is actually really good. This is one of the better ones that I've heard anyways. One of the better ones I've tried. It's pretty damn solid. So yeah, if you're out there and you're like, I need gotta have the transpose. I've never been a really, really big fan. I've always been more of a fan of just like, if you find yourself, try it out. And if you find yourself constantly using a transpose feature to tune down to a certain tuning, I got some news for you. You should probably buy another guitar and tune it to that tuning. I know. It's money. Not everybody has money for another guitar. I get that. But if you're trying to make, like, say, a gent recording, like in even C sharp, the resonance is just not gonna get you there. I know there are actually people out there right now using transpose to record an entire album. Don't do that. I mean, make a demo, see how you like that tuning, maybe make 2 or 3 songs, use the transpose feature and say, hey, shit, I love that tuning so much. I would really say that maybe it should be something you put on your vision board, even, you know, regardless of how much money you have. There are so many affordable options for guitarists out there now to be able to do that and get another guitar and do a drop 6 or get a 7-string and drop it, or get an 8-string. It's just easier than it's ever been. So it's my opinion, is just my opinion. If you're thinking about using the transpose feature, if you find yourself using it a ton, I would say that maybe you should, maybe, I'm not saying this in a bad way, but maybe look into getting another guitar and putting it in that tuning, and then seeing what's up. But then it becomes about the feel too, right? You have to understand that the lower strings, they are just going to feel phenomenally different, especially if you're trying to get down to, you know, drop, you know, whether it's F sharp or whether it's the low. The transpose in the Nosferatu is surprisingly good. Yeah, I mean, Daniel does a good job with that stuff. Honey, a guy on the internet said I need to buy another guitar. Don't you bring that on me. Don't you bring that negativity on my house. Man, I'm just having a killer day today. Killer day. All I can hear is just non-stop shred in the background, and it's making me happy. It's just like graphene, in the sense that we used graphene the other day, and I noticed that there was just one channel I loved and one channel that I was like, I don't know, maybe it's nice to have and not need, then need not have. But that's okay, because again, this is entirely based on what you feel, not necessarily what I feel. So far, I would give this product, I'm going to reserve that. Just give me a few more minutes. This, by the way, is a 412 cabinet of mysterious descent that is loaded with V30s, as I've read. Don't threaten you with a good time. Did anybody look? Was anybody able to find any evidence whatsoever in Manuel Gardner Fernandes using this module? Was anybody able to do that? Oh man, now that we're back on the first channel, I'm back in love. That sounds really cool. Now let's tune it down again for funskies. Whoops. Fuck. I don't play that song incredibly well, but actually, guys, I mean, you got to be honest. We got to be honest with each other here. This transpose is pretty good. It does not provide the resonance of like like one of those big boy like 78 gauge strings. The resonance is simply a different, like it does not account for resonance. It accounts for the tuning. But it's the resonance is still coming from whatever strings you're playing on. So if you're trying to play like way down, I really wouldn't go more than, 5 steps, 6 steps and expect any kind. I wouldn't go further than 5 or 6 and expect the same response. But let's go even lower here. I certainly would not. Here's one thing I wouldn't do. Recording. If you're trying to just, you're trying out another tuning. How does it work for me? How does my stuff sound in this tuning? That's all amazing. Amazing reasons to use transpose features. But what is not a good reason to use a transpose feature is to replace bass. And I've seen that on a couple of different user groups where they're like, oh man, I started recording my bass with this plugin as well. I'm like, fuck, no, come on. Like with just a guitar? Yeah, oh fuck, no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Please do not ever expect transpose to take the place of a bass, because that resonance of a big boy like 120 or a 130 is not the same as a 46 or even a 56 or even a 62 gauge. It's not gonna be the same. So just don't do that. Anyways, let's go back to it. Let's try this out again. I'm out of tune. We just tuned. Thought we had this, boys. It's like, I'm cranky. It's cold in here. Should be in tune. There's this weird fizzy bubble in the background. This jing, jing, jing. There's this thing. There's a thing happening. It's angry. I'll give it that. Yeah, okay, you know what? Now I'm finding that top end headroom is so much easier when it comes to the first channel. So much easier to get that nice whoomp. The second channel just doesn't whoomp as much as I would like it to whoomp. This channel is just so much more dynamic. The range is better. Everything about it is just a much better channel. The other one, again, is probably more for lead. So let's just, let's give it its just desserts here, and let's fire up this delay pedal. All right. That's not what I want there. So and right about there. Sounds good. All right. Let's go up here. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So I figured it out. Then the lead channel just might be better for lead. That's fine. It sounds terrific for lead. Nice sustain. Everything is where it should be. Absolutely awesome. Those are the wow. The sustain. Like I was pretty guys. You guys know I'm not a lead player. I do what I can for you guys, but I really I have a couple of passes that I'm pretty much assured that I'm not going to screw up and make sound awful. So, I mean, I should really practice more leads again, and so I can have more to showcase for you guys. But you know what? If you want, here's an idea. You just might want to follow this idea. If you want to hear this plugin being used for shred, you can really very easily just go to this. Who's this guy again? Manuel Gardner Fernandes. Go and check him out, because I've never heard his material. I can guarantee I'd be willing to bet my vehicle outside and just hand you the keys just say, here, take them. If he doesn't shred, we all know that that guy, there's no universe that that dude doesn't shred. There's no chance he's sitting in, he's got a plug-in right here because he's playing power chords and basic Southern rock riffs. This, not to say that there's nothing wrong with that. That's more my forte anyway, but this dude probably shreds. So if you want to hear this plugin in action with Wheedly Deedlies and Woobly Boops, there's lots and lots of evidence of that happening. And guess what? Where there's an Instagram shredder with 310,000 followers, you are sure as shit gonna find some demos of using this product that are probably available right now of dudes just shredding the ever-living shit out of this plugin. I can guarantee that. So if my shops are not enough for you, no offense taken, but there are videos available for you. He has a pink custom wrap Synergy amp heads and cabs. So okay. How I wish I didn't know that, because now I'm a little bit like I mean, whatever. He's got a pink custom wrap Synergy amp head and caps. Of course he does. So obviously he's a signature artist with Synergy. And I wonder how they feel about that. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just thinking aloud. Like, I'm just like, if I was a company, I don't know. Really, you can't get mad though if you're Synergy, because what that module is literally a copy of something anyway. So it's not like you can be like, hey, you copied our copy of a copy. It's not as if they can be pissed about it. It's not as if they designed that module being like the guts of that probably came originally from the Mark, right? So, wow, this whole song is tapping. That's freaking funny. I just found out he is from Germany. The accent should be a combination of Spanish and German? Fuck that shit. I'm not even attempting that. What would that even sound like? I know I'm going to go check out his stuff after this, just because I want to see how hard he shreds. I don't want to just go and play clips on here and be wowed, because every time I seem to play a video of anything, it seems like I get rung up for something. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly. They probably don't care. But I mean, it is what it is. It's just nice to theorize these things that happen sometimes. It sounds nice. The leads sound wonderful, and then when I want rhythms. Oh boy, the delay is still very much in my face. Yeah, that definitely does sound very Mesa-ish. I like it. I'm going to give this plugin a strong 8 out of 10. A strong, full 8 out of 10. There are some things I like about it. There's some things that, I don't like quite as much. But I think if you're out there, half power this thing. Is that just for the lead channel? Weird. Why does the half power get louder? Bo? I wasn't expecting that. Wow, that is all the top end I need is there now. Yeah, there's tons of top end there now. And the presence is here as well if you'd like to. Actually, it sounds a little bit better with the presence. Just take it down just a slice. Mesa presence does not work the same way as like Marshall presence or any other presence. I feel it's just different with Mesa amps. With Marshall amps and Mesa amps are just, for some reason, I don't know what it is. Bo could probably explain exactly what those two controls, why they differ, but we don't have to get that crazy. All right, it's tune up, and then I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to be here for about another, I don't know, a bit, and we're going to try the stringer plugin on the back end here. It's been a while since I tried it, and somebody told me, you know, you should give it another shot. And I don't know. I remember the clean being really good. I remember the rock tones being okay, but I remember the heavy stuff not being my cup of tea. But we're gonna see if maybe my thoughts have changed. Do you think that seems like it could actually be a thing? So that's a possible bug. Just two things I'm going to let them know about. Again, when you open the plugin, it takes you to the cab section first, which I feel is weird. I've never seen that before either. So two career firsts for me today. I've never seen it before. Not to say that it's a bad thing. I like looking at cabinets too, but most people are like, pow, here's the amp. And they're like, pow, here's the cabinet. But then, with a company that puts this much work into, like, holy shit, guys, look at these mics. There's so many mics. Whichever mic is your thing, they probably have it here. All right, folks, I am going to take my brief break, and I'm excited about that. So, what are we going to leave with today? Not leave. Hang on. All right, let's do this. Guys, I'll be right back. All right, you're going to hear the worst lyrics, some of the worst lyrics in the history of metal in just 1 second. Here it comes. And I promise you, these are some of the worst lyrics ever written in a great song. Here it comes.
Don't need no fleshy house, no car or ugly wife. The only thing I want is what my parents don't.
Okay, let's recap those lyrics we just listened to. They were, don't need no fleshy hose, don't need no ugly wife. The only thing I want is what my parents don't. Okay. That's a weird take. That's a wild addition to a song. It's such a strange thing to say. It's such a weird thing to write. And I've always found those to be some of the strangest and worst lyrics in what is otherwise a perfect song, featuring, of course, Gus G prior to his Aussie fame. Great dude, by the way, Gus G. Amazing human being. Super nice guy. If you ever get a chance to meet Gus G, meet Gus G. All right. We're back. 5 people. Wow. 5 people in the house. And, wow. I think, did people think I was leaving? Maybe. Who knows? Depends on the amp and the channel. The Rectifier Modern channel uses a fake presence control that operates just after the tone stack instead of the negative feedback loop. Okay. The Mark series presence is more like a traditional one that operates in the negative feedback loop. It has different values compared to a Marshall. Fuck, dude. You're like smart as Bo knows. As always. Bo knows. Excuse me. Instead of having it at the end of the preamp circuit. I'm glad you're here, buddy. All right, so we're going to say goodbye to this plugin. And will I use it again? I like to answer that question after a review. I don't know. For lead, I think I'm using the trial version. I wasn't sure. I asked Dave very last minute for a license, and AR people are busy. They're really busy. And so when someone like C or D level like me on the creator scale, you might hear back in a couple days, you might hear back in a week, who knows? Nonetheless, I'm using the trial version right now. So if they were to give me the NFR version, I would definitely promote it again. I would definitely do a Mixwave deep dive, and just it's nice to have the products pass their trial. Even though I might not necessarily use it in a mix myself. The lead tones we heard, however, they're definitely not screwing around. There's the delay. By the way, there's a warp. Let's try the warp before we get out of here, though. So it's a pin. It's an envelope filled. Sorry, it's a pitch shift that goes. There's 2 pitch shifters. What the fuck just happened? Okay. There's a lot to unpack with that. I need more time with this pedal before I showcase it. Reverb, very simplistic, but yeah, I'm going to showcase this again at some point, and I want to do it with a Telecaster with some single coils in it, I think, and just barely use any of the distortion available in channel 1 here. And just really dial it back. Can we get like a nice clean happening here? Holy shit, you can. That's all in one channel. Wow. Holy crap. I'm really impressed with how versatile just that one channel is. And with that lead channel is not as versatile. But this channel right here, channel 1, yeah, I would keep it. I would use this again just to showcase this channel again. Holy smokes. You can go from that to the other end of things. Wow. Okay, then. Very interesting. Very solid. Okay, let's see if we can. just needs a bit of a neck adjustment, which is rare for this instrument. There is something subtle in the background, though. There's like this... There's a hiss in the background. Also, the top end is like coming through and then some now. When I put it to... It was whether I was at half power or not, I'm not really sure because it shouldn't drop in volume when I go to half power. So maybe this, as Bo mentioned, maybe this is a bug and they have to fix that. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's supposed to be like that, but generally it's not like that. I don't know. 7 people in the house. Come on, guys. Be heard. Say hello. I won't bite you. My name is Tyler. Welcome to the Amp Sim Show. We are here every single Friday night. I'll call it every single Friday, late afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Please do. I will be here, hell or high water, every single Friday. I've been on here sick as a dog. I have been on here very seldom. There was one time I missed a Friday and I had COVID, and it was like the worst. It was the worst COVID. It was like it hit me really hard. As it, you know, you guys have probably had it a couple of times where one time it really just smashes on you, and then the other time it's just like, oh, I feel a little ill, you know. This is Vermont. I am very, very I don't play that riff as fast as I used to. Fuck! Whatever. I'll play this instead then. Anybody know where that's from? You'd be a real sad soul, just like myself, for playing that song for you guys. One of the strangest songs I think I've ever heard in my entire life. If you guys want to hear a real fucking weird song, I'm going to name drop Tropalium, Moonshine Limbo. Starts a little like this. You think it's going to be like the fucking like swing music or something? It's a fun song, man. I love stuff like this, weird metal. I don't know how talented you have to be to make this shit, though. Let's listen to these guys. Listen to this album. Bring it back here. All right, folks. So in the second half here, we're going to get into the mic stringer plugin. And because I don't really feel like I gave it a fair shake, but we may end up back at this plugin. I'm going to be honest. We'll see. We're going to see how this ends up. Okay. See, we're going to end up here. Let's see what happens. And there's one product, though, I'm going to be honest. Have you guys seen a lot of demos using this product? I have not seen enough. I would love to see more. And why are, like, they've got a pretty rad artist relations and creator relations dude with Dave Dunshire. You want to check out his stuff. By the way, thanks to Dave and Ernie over at Mixwave for always being really cool to us and hooking us up and just, you know, always just being very supportive in what we do here at the channel. Thank you to you fellas over there. And check out Dave is a creator himself. A bananas creator. The dude, when I laugh like that, I laugh because, man, the dude's got chops for days and a really nice guitar collection. Quite nice guitar collection. So let's start here on the clean channel. I remember the clean channel being really cool. Yeah, it's nice. Of course it is. So why would the ring modulator? I don't like ring modulators, so I don't care. I'm going to move the reverb over here. I'm not sure why it was over there. I think maybe I accidentally did that. That's not the signal channel. All right, so let's go here. I'm going to set things up. You have two different, you have, in this case, you have V30s and greenbacks available, which is cool. Excuse me. Along with your insane selection of mics. So in this sense, they've done two speakers. Wow, the amount of IRs that you'd need for that. Let's just think about this for a second. How many IRs would you have to shoot? Bo, do you remember what the average, what the matrix that we used for the secret plugin? Do you recall how many IRs were in that matrix? Just so I can use that as a baseline. I'm very curious. We could do, wow, 4 people. They don't like this shit. They don't like this stuff. Like, fuck this. I just turned around. I was like, wow, we lost everyone. Oh, no. It's odd for the drive to be all the way up on a scream up, but we're going to just... I remember liking the screamer. The clean tone is nice. Let's get it dialed in here a little bit. I'd love to know which amps that they modeled for this. Fantastic. I remember having no problem whatsoever with this clean channel though. Wow, it's actually the exact same settings that they have on the other plugin for default for chorus. Interesting. All right. That sounds lovely. Okay. I'm a big fan so far. Sounds nice. Interesting. And there's nothing on this. This is bone dry. Let's try on some delay. Again, some odd settings. There's some odd default settings for some of the components that I find from time to time. You have digital, analog, lo-fi, and reverse options in the delay. That's cool. So that seems like, that's something that usually will end up, if you see something like that, that's an artist thing. Typically, when you roll out a delay pedal to a signature artist, you're typically not going to roll it out with 4 different options. So it kind of seems like that would be something that the artist was like, nah, I want to I use a lot of delays. I really want to make sure this delay is like, this thing is I want to make sure it's a beast, like this is capable of anything. It's got ping pong, dual delay, and it's got 4 different modes that you can put it in. That's awesome. It's not too often you see a delay pedal that's that involved in a suite, in a signature suite. You just don't typically see it. And I typically won't advocate for it either, because you guys know how I work. I don't usually use the post effects in any plugins that I use because I use them in a DAW, in a mix, and you need an EQ solution between your cabinet and your delay and reverb. That's going to be where you're going to put your low pass and high pass and at very least your EQ and doing your things there. So I typically like to just operate without the post effects, but in this case, post effects are probably most useful for, standalone players and when you're playing along to stuff and, a lot of that stuff. And that's fine too. No disrespect there. But when you're using things in a mix, this delay pedal becomes a lot less useful because I'm going to bypass it in favor of my own solution because there's no EQ in the middle there. You know what I mean? And that's not a shot at the plugin. You won't find many amp sims that have the ability to have that full EQ in there. They'll give you that EQ bar, the graphic EQ option, but it doesn't always have your high and low pass. And if it doesn't have your high and low pass filters, at very least. It's kind of tough to use it, the post effect section, for me at least. This is nice. Lo-fi. Beautiful. It sounds beautiful. Wonderfully done. And, you know, it could, you guys be the judge. It sounds good to me. Next amp, we're going to go to the teal amp and kind of chug around with this one a little bit. I'm going to turn the delay off. And for now, the chorus off, but I'm going to see, I'm thinking that chorus is going to sound really nice driven, which you guys know I kind of like to drive with the chorus sometimes. Okay, that sounds pretty solid. Let's okay, so it's gonna be it seems to be lacking a little bit of top end so far, but again, we kind of thought that in the last one as well. Man, this band is so freaking weird. Off and on also is, yeah. Anyways, man, this band, I just can't stop listening to what's going on in the background today. We're listening to Trapalium, and before that, we're listening to Gorod. So check both of those bands out, as I think you guys might enjoy. The tones were, the Gorod tones are similar to what was going on in the Manuel Gardner Fernandes plugin. So far, so good here. This is sounding really nice. Let's get some volume on it. It's tough though. It's tough to get over how it looks. Because I really don't feel that, like, when you compare this to the all of the other Mixwave plugins look freaking-tastic, and I just, this one just does it look, it's the odd duck, man. It doesn't look to be at the same level as the other ones. I'm sure they could do a quick graphic remaster of this one and make it just as rad. Sounding good so far. Watch your ears. It was Law and Order, yeah, absolutely. The Fender style tone stack at the beginning of the preamp circuit is reason for why the EQ is so sensitive to those amps, why you really end up dumping all the bass and most of the mids. You pretty much amp. Okay. Honestly, I can't remember how many you would have to ask Eddie it takes to actually get it done, but usually using a robot to move it around, capture it efficiently. It does, but I'm just thinking, how many, like, when you think about how many IRs have been shot for this plugin, I mean, how many mics have we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21 mics times 2 cabinets. Wow. Times probably, at very least, 50 IRs per mic. At very least. Per cabinet. Gee-bus, that's a lot. That is a lot of work. Whether you've got a robot doing it, like when you guys, if you guys don't know what I mean by a robot doing it, there's essentially to shoot IRs, either a human can go and do the positions, or if you want to get really technical, they have these robots now where you can put it in front of the speaker and just have it go. It'll shoot it, and then you hit a button, and it'll go boop, and then you shoot it, and it'll go boop, and then you shoot it, hit the button, it'll go boop again, and then again it goes back. It'll do across, it'll do in back, and there's a lot of IRs needed for a matrix of that size. Especially in here, you see that, again, when I mentioned distance earlier, look at how far away you can get with the distance on these mics. That's a lot of IRs. That becomes less of a granola bar box and more of like a cube almost. That's a lot of IRs. What I'm trying to say is these cabinet sections are worth every single solitary freaking dollar that you pay for them. A lot of work has gone into this, and if, again, I know that there are a lot of people, the high up people at Mixwave are audio professionals. So they know exactly what they're doing when they shoot, very likely shooting their own cabinet sections. They have to be. I don't know anybody else that shoots that many. There's just I don't think it exists. I can't see how they would have licensed that out. It's very likely they make their own because they have the skill and they have the experience to do that in a big way. So we're going to do a few more minutes with this, and we're going to get out of here, guys. It depends on who kicks up, though. Who kicks in? So this isn't bad sounding, but again, I don't think it's... When I put this plugin against other stuff that I use, when I'm looking for this particular sound... Yeah, this sounds good. But I have a bunch of other plugins that do the sound, this exact sound that I'm after here with much higher quality. I just always found that this plugin was a bit of the odd duck out because all of the other plugins all of the other Mixwave plugins are just on such an immaculate level. Anyhow, let's continue. Sounds pretty good. It sounds okay. Let's go to the red. This plugin just isn't entirely for me. As mentioned, I just really don't want to I really hate to sit around and use products that I'm not fully into, and I feel because it's a release stream, we should just go back and just use this guy right here and this plugin that we were using. Come on, guys. We can admit there are a few tones there in the beginning, like. Why does it feel like I have a slapback on this when it's not a slapback? Man, I haven't done any country picking in a while. Now, it's super rusty. Anyhow, folks, we're going to do a couple more minutes with this plugin instead. And we're just going to call it a day. Let you guys get out of here a bit earlier. And this weekend, I'm going to be doing hopefully something based on... hopefully we're going to do something fun with some bass, rather. I reached out to Mercurial Audio and tried to grab their new bass stuff. I kind of want to do more bass stuff. So if there's going to be a stream tomorrow, it'll be bass. But it's very likely I'm going to drop in here tomorrow and do something fun. Don't know what it'll be. We'll figure it out. Maybe a bass stream where you guys get to pick the plugin. I know I wanted to do something with Ampegs, and if I hear back from Mercurial Audio, it's going to be like an Ampeg thing. I'm going to do a whole bunch, like an Ampeg marathon, a mega Ampeg marathon, where I'm going to go over the works. And there are many, many Ampeg plugins that I have, so many, and we're going to try to get through a whole bunch of them, if I hear back, because I don't want to do an Ampeg thing without getting this newest one and then need to do another one. I'd rather blend it right in to the Ampeg apocalypse, that we'll probably call it something like that. SP guitar. Dude, the Bogren Silos with a carnivore IR. Yeah. Are you referring to one of the last streams we did? Because actually we did that in a stream. SP guitar, are you new to the stream? Are you new to the channel, or is this just somebody who's, again, we're kind of screwed over by that whatever they did at YouTube, where they made everybody go and use all of their and just changed their name and changed everyone's names. I don't know why it did that. It's super irritating, but it's tough for us to know. Are you saying, dude, try the Bogren? Sorry, I didn't see it. Yeah, we did that, I believe, in one of the last streams. And I think the MLC stream, I think I flirted with the carnivores. Maybe not, though. I know I definitely used the EGA. But yes, you know what? You got it. The carnivore IRs, it is. I'm the pumpkin. Oh, fuck. Okay. Absolutely. I get it. I haven't seen, why haven't I seen a lot of stuff on Instagram as of late? I was used to seeing like your stuff almost every time I went on Instagram. I haven't seen a lot of stuff lately. How come you haven't been around either, brother? Hopefully you've been well. And Pumpkins guy, I do feel that you'd probably enjoy this plugin. Knowing your tastes, I feel like you might enjoy this one. So check this plugin out. It's the Mixwave Manuel Gardner Fernandes, and it's cool. Channel 1 is one of the best single channels I've used in a plugin suite. Channel 2, not entirely sure just yet. It's got some really nice lead capabilities, but for rhythm, it kind of just shaves off some of the good things about Channel 1. The OD is also a little, it likes to darken things up a little bit as well, but I think that this Channel 1 is just unbelievable. This Channel 1 here is just, wow. Superb. You did. Okay, good. But Instagram's been doing this weird thing, like YouTube unsubscribes people at random. I don't know why it does that. Why, I have no idea why the shit works that way. But it unsubscribes or unfollows things often. I don't think, I'm guaranteed I'm still following you, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, guys, folks, everybody, I am going to get going. This thing is awesome. Channel 1 is awesome. It's at very least in a world where this one is one of the few, by the way, that still requires iLock. So if you hate iLock, I think there are just two companies now, Neural DSP and Mixwave, that have yet to get out of the iLock game. And it is what it is. It costs a lot of money, just in case you guys are curious. iLock costs a lot of money for developers to have. Every time they give out even an NFR, it used to be that even NFRs would cost developers money, whereas NFRs don't usually cost a developer a cent to send out. When they work with iLock, it actually does cost them money. So that's why those companies have to be a little bit more, even a lot more selective as to who they send their stuff out to for review, and like free copies too anyway. Yeah. Anyways, check this one out. I would say that if you're out there and you enjoy those really, really clean, snappy tones, and if you like the Synergy Mark II, is it the Mark II C+ module from Synergy? Some people in the stream here have led me to believe that this could be it could be a thing. Also, before testing, I will note that there may be a bug with the half power here, whereas when you switch it down, it seems to get louder as opposed to where half power would actually take your volume down a bit. So that might be a bug. I'm not really sure. So, but nonetheless, test that feature out, because when you click the switch down, it all of a sudden that bottom amp just kind of came even more alive. And the one good thing I was about to say though is that there are free trials for everyone, for everybody. Everyone that wants a free trial can go and get this and test it thoroughly for 2 full weeks. and test the living shit right out of it. And it won't cost you a dime. That's the beauty part of unrestricted free trials. You can mix with them. No silence, no clicks, no pops, no nothing. That's one really beautiful part that iLog did kind of bring into the equation, is that those unrestricted time free trials, although many companies have since come up with their own in-house way of running those unrestricted free trials. So they are available in multiple ways now. But if you go over, if you have iLog, it's super easy to get those free trials, get it going. Everything from Mixwave has that 2-week free trial. And if you're curious as to the other plugins, I would definitely recommend that you try from Mixwave. I would definitely suggest the Benson Chimera suite if you're into doom or stoner rock, or even just like beautiful clean tones. It's great for country, blues. It's good for rockabilly, psychobilly, all kinds of different stuff. It's one of the more versatile and one of the more simplistic. And if you get the collection, it comes with a whole bunch of components that you can use on their own, which is amazing. The germanium boost, germanium fuzz, the preamp, the tall bird, all available. Also, I would also recommend the Milkman Creamer suite if you're into, again, rockabilly, country, blues, anything like that. It's going to probably really impress you, and it comes with some really impressive effects. One of my favorite is the JHS Slap Boost. It comes with is really, really, really cool. And so those are definitely a couple of plugins I could recommend, as well as the 2Rock Bloomfield Drive. This thing is superb. This is another plugin I'll show you guys real quick. This thing is super cool for clean tones, rock. Not really. I think it maxes out probably somewhere around thrash metal. But it's not really what I would say is going to be your friend for high gain stuff, but for everything but, this thing rips. So I'm going to be doing a stream probably sometime soon. I'm interested maybe in doing Telly Tuesdays. I might start doing Telly Tuesdays, and just to add another stream to the week. So we'll see. But folks, thank you for being here. And again, thank you to Mixwave for always sending us cool shit to test. Although this one, in this case, I just used the trial. I was using the free unrestricted trial through the entire stream, and no difference. If you're out there, folks, if you're out there and you still haven't figured out trials, or if you're just brand new getting to Amp Sims, free trials are your friend. Don't spend $1 when you first get into Amp Sims. Use those free trials, try a bunch of freeware as well, and then get into purchasing things after you figure out what it is you really like. Thanks, folks. I'll be here tomorrow. Look for me. I'll see you then. Cheers.
You can have me if you want me. All I need is a little shrimp money. I need a place for all this shit in my closet. I need a place to put all my electronics. Ain't nice. Ain't nice. You ain't the nice, but you got a nice face. Hope I can fit all my shit at your place. Got a collection of vintage calculators. If you don't like it, well, babe, I'll see you later. Ain't nice. Ain't nothing nice.